Planter here today, and I'm just going to give you a quick tip on watering and how to water. So when it comes to watering a plant, most people think you can just spray it on top and it's good to go, which isn't always necessarily the case. If you're finding you're getting yellow blotchiness on your leaves, or black dots, or a lot of dead foliage right along the bottom of your plant, or like the powdery white that you find on your leaves. Unfortunately, you're never going to prevent rain from doing what it does because Mother Nature knows best. But when you're hand watering, you can definitely try to alleviate those issues. So what I like to use to decide how I'm going to water a plant is something called the pinch test. So the pinch test is basically going to help us determine how dense the plant is and how susceptible it is to bacterial and fungal diseases. So any plant that has a softer leaf is going to be more susceptible to those types of infections than something with a harder leaf will. So it's important to do the pinch test to determine whether you're going to water on the soil level or if you're going to water directly above. When in doubt, you're always going to want to make sure you lift your plant up as much as possible and water just on the soil and not directly on top of the plant. So I have a mint plant here, mint herb. I have a lemon tree, kind of. It's just a baby right now. And then I have my mother-in-law's tongue, snake plant, also known as. So the way you're going to do a pinch test is you can simply just take one leaf. You're not going to pull the leaf off. You can pull it off if you've got lots of leaves like this. With the snake plant, obviously you don't want to rip one of the leaves off because they have very few in most cases. Sorry, my dogs are letting me know someone's here. So basically all you're going to do is just take the leaf in your hand, and if you can make a zigzag, so an S, with your leaf and let it go and it not have any cracks or breaks in it, it's a soft leaf plant. In that case, you're going to want to water as close to the soil as possible. This is going to prevent that yellowing, that dying out of your plant. In the event where you have a giant plant, such as the potato vine just back there, or the petunia plant back in the corner, you can actually use a bottle. This is what I use. You can do it the way I do, and you can get the nursing bottle, I guess they call them. Anyways, they're called plant babysitters, and put those in there, and always just make sure to fill up your container when it needs to be filled up, and you water directly into the soil. However, if you're cheap, and I do this with a lot of my other plants as well, you can actually take this bottle, cut off the bottom portion, so this whole bottom will be open, and then you will poke holes into the sides of the bottle. Usually 4 or 5 rows down the sides is good enough. Make them about the size of a dime or a penny, and then water directly into the top of the bottle, so you wouldn't have this on and you'd water directly into there, and that'll just filter down and it'll soak your soil. You're going to want to make sure part of the bottle is sticking out so you're able to fill it up. I don't recommend cutting off, say, down here and having this all open, because you'll find it'll get really clogged with leaves and dead bugs and grass and all that other stuff. So it's just better to have a small opening. The less that can get in, the better. So that's what you're going to do if it's a soft leaf plant. Now, if it's something like your mother-in-law's tongue or your snake plant, where obviously I'm not even going to try to zigzag this because it will snap. It's a very, very firm plant. Something like this, you can actually directly water all the way down on it. A bromeliad is another example that you can water directly down on top. It's going to be very hard for this plant to get any sort of bacterial disease if it hasn't been cut. So if it has a cut in it, there is a possibility. If there has not been a cut in the plant, It's very difficult for any sort of diseases to get inside. So there you go for that one. This one is a lemon tree. So I can do the S, but if I was to pinch down on this leaf, I would end up breaking it. So if I do the S just like this and I go to pinch, you can feel it under my fingers that it's about to snap. That's not as hard of a leaf plant, but it is relatively tough. This plant can be watered directly down on top, but if you want to be safe, you can always just water down low like this. And generally, when I get a plant or plant to plant, I will take out about a knuckle to my first knuckle's worth of soil, and then I will just blast it, fill it up to the first knuckle, and then let it drain out. That usually is enough water if you're watering on a regular basis. The other thing you want to watch out for is plants such as a banana plant. Any plant that has creases in it, like this banana plant does, for example. See where you can fit your finger in there? It's like a cup almost. For those plants, or and here's another good example, it's literally a cup. So in the event of that, where water can get trapped inside of the plant, you don't want to water directly on top, because if bacteria is left to collect in there, it will start sickness and diseases and different types of fungal growth and everything. So try to avoid that. Try to water it down low. Even though this is a pretty tough leaf, it's very similar to lemon tree leaf. It should be okay in theory, but these are native to areas that are very hot at times, so these cups will dry out. If you're in a temperate area such as me, where it can be very, very cold and by cold I mean 10 degrees with no sun for 5-6 days in a row in the summer, you want to try to avoid water sitting there as long as possible, so or as much as possible. So yeah, hopefully that helps you guys out on watering your plants, and hopefully you'll keep you disease free and happy all summer long. And the same rule applies to your indoor plants as well. If you take care in following those instructions, you will prevent your disease as well. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.